Hey folks, I'm Tennessee Brando with the MeidasTouch Network, and today we're going to talk about one of Brando's biggest pet peeves on this earth. I absolutely cannot stand how that all of my life the Republican Party has painted this picture that they are the party of morals and values and the rest of us are just the most evil people that walks the planet and we just have no care or no concern for nobody. It makes me so mad when these people stand up and get on their high horse. And then MAGA came along, and when MAGA came along, they kicked it into high gear. They shot it with the biggest dose of steroids I've ever seen, and now if you're on the liberal side of the fence, if you're a progressive, if you vote Democrat, well, you're a pedophile, you're a Satanist, you're a communist, you're all of the above. You're the most evil force in America today. And they are the sacred party of loving, caring people who has everyone in the children's best interest. And it makes me sick. And now Ron DeSantis, his wife, is saying that when she was sick, Ron checked on the kids. Yeah, and I guess that means we're supposed to get behind him. But take a look at this clip, and then I'm going to come back and rant a little bit harder.
And he was there to go pick up my kids when I couldn't. And he did it with humility, and he did it with love. And I'll tell you what, can't ask for a better husband than that.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
How does it feel? How does it feel to hear her say that? I mean,
well, look, that's, you know, in sickness and in health, that's what you sign up for. I mean, and so she's not only my wife, she's my best friend.
You know, I'm sorry to hear that Ron DeSantis' wife was sick, and I hope she's well, and I hope she lives a life of nothing but good health. But Ron is kind of a fascist. And just because he checked on his kids is not reasons for us to get behind this guy and vote for him. I cannot stand the way that MAGA Republicans ride that ticket. I remember back before MAGA, which Sarah Palin was kind of the godfather of the whole thing, if we're being honest with ourselves. But Sarah Palin's running and people kept saying, but she's a mom. She's a mom. And I'm like, mosquitoes reproduce. What does that mean? My dad always taught me that you don't necessarily get credit in life for doing the things that you're automatically supposed to do. You don't stand up and brag and say, I paid my bills. We're all supposed to pay our bills. I paid my taxes. We're all supposed to pay taxes. I feed my kids. You're supposed to do those things. You don't get credit for that. Good, we're glad you do. We're going to call you out if you don't. But we're not going to sit and constantly pat you on the back. And then when you come out with these crazy far-right fascist ideas, we're not going to give you a pat on the back and say, well, you know what, man? I mean, I know he's trying to ban books, and I know he's all for fascism, and I know he's trying to strip away rights from gay and transgender people. But, you know, that time he checked on his kids when his wife was sick, that doesn't make any sense to me. But somewhere somebody heard her say that and went, yeah, I was thinking about voting for him, and now I'm convinced because he checked on his kids. I will never understand that, and I will never understand how that it was the Republican Party who got control of that narrative and was able to shape it and sell it to the American people, that they are the party of morals, they're the party of family values. They're the party that shouts it the loudest, but they're not the party that lives it. They're not the party of Social Security, of Medicare, and Medicaid. They're not the party of the Voting Rights Act or the Civil Rights Act. They're not the party that has ever had a health. When have they ever had a health care plan on the table? When have they ever had any idea? Name me one Republican idea, please, somebody, that would help families. Name me one piece of legislature they brought to the table that would really help an American family. Instead, they were always sitting back trying to tear down anything and everything we put in place and calling us the bad guy, saying that we have no morals and we have no values. We do. We've been fighting for them for years. And we take care of our kids. We go through dark times and we always reach down and help those around us. We just don't thump our chest about it constantly. We don't constantly wave a flag. We don't always pose with a Bible on our lap because those things aren't stage props. They were never meant to be stage props. It sickens me when you see that, just that classic vintage MAGA Republican picture. There's that's the dad with his assault weapon, his Bible, and a flag behind him, and all the kids around the Christmas tree. It's one of the most, it's basically saying, hey, look, we're fighting every culture war we can while we stand up for you. And they've never done nothing for you. They've never done one damn thing for you other than own a lib, other than insult somebody and put somebody down, other than be a dickhead in the comment section. What have they ever done for anybody? And then they have the audacity to say that we are the evil people, that it's us, that we're the bad guys. Every accusation from these people is a confession. And we have been gaslit for years. And somehow, a lot of times, and I'm not trying to be too critical of our side here, but we have set back a lot of times on the ropes and went, okay. Because you realize that you're battling insanity, and sometimes I realize that's hard. Sometimes I realize you may not want to come back combating it this much, but you have to. You have to stand up and say, whoa, wait a minute. Don't come at us calling us the pedophiles and us the Satanists and us the groomers and us the communists when you are pushing a fascist agenda. Good for you. You went and picked up your kids when your wife was sick. But that doesn't give you brownie points over what we've accomplished. Charles Manson fed the family, okay? That's nothing, that doesn't give him points. What are we going to do? Go back and apologize to Charles Manson? Well, he did feed the family. I mean, he had freedom of speech when he told them to go out and butcher people. That's the insanity that we've come to in this world. It's absolute insanity that we're up against, and somehow we're supposed to give these people a pass just because they can quote a Bible verse, or because they got a 4th of July cake with an American flag on it. That's all nice, but we're not about that imagery. We're about ideas. And we are about taking care of our own, and we do love our children, and we do want to protect them. It's them that's saying we're not going to fix it. It's them that's saying we don't have any new ideas. So, yeah, I hope Ron DeSantis' wife lives a long life and is always healthy. And I hope he continues to check on the kids. Keep checking on them, Ron. But kind of back off with your fascist agenda, if you don't mind, and let this country have some sanity. He's already made a mockery out of his campaign. At least he's not going to see the White House. Anyway, that's Brando's rant for the day. That's been bottled up in me for years because people are constantly saying how bad people we are. And I know really good people that takes care of their families every day and doesn't ask for that pat on the back and doesn't ask to be rewarded for it. It's just what you do. You just be a good person. You just don't treat people badly. And you don't push fascist agendas and try to pass it off as patriotism or pass it off as morals and values. It goes against everything that our forefathers taught. And if you're religious, it really goes everything against those words in red that Jesus Christ said, if you actually read it. So anyway, folks, keep hitting that subscribe button here on MeidasTouch and get these videos out there. And until next time, I'm Tennessee Brando. You guys keep tuning in. I'll keep on ranting, and I'll keep on telling you the truth.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.